ratings, wait a minute, on TNT's Falling Skies. Give it up for my man, Noah Wyle. So years ago, we used to see each other on the lot almost daily.
Yeah, we shot right across from each other.
Shot ER right by where I shot my show. Does this set look familiar to you?
That's the ambulance entrance right there. That's what we used to pull the ambulances through, and this was, I think, the courthouse, and that was the front doors of the hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. This, when we did the pilot for the show, we used ER outside the set, the general hospital and the ambulance entrance, and, you know, because we were cheap. What all happened? That was like the centerpiece of a lot of crazy stuff on the show.
Yeah, well, mostly it was, well, we shot all of our exteriors on these sets.
Some very emotional scenes.
So it'd be, well, more like, it would be 110 degrees outside, and you've got your winter coat on, and they're blowing fake snow at you, and you gotta, which they used potato flakes for at first, which turned into mashed potatoes.
So wait a minute, it's 110 degrees, you're dressed up like it's the middle of a winter in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they're blowing fake potatoes at you?
At first. And then that all kind of got clumpy and messy and turned to mashed potatoes, so they started using, like they'd shred plastic bags like you get at the dry cleaner and blow that at you. I think I have a couple pieces still lodged in my chest.
Well, hey, that show was as cheap as us. Wait a minute. They got a guy cutting plastic bag. You cough out a Ziploc, the whole, hey, wait a minute. Now, in all the action that was happening there, because, you know, helicopters crashed, people lost arms. You were already gone from the show, but they had a 747 on fire in the middle, in front of the hospital. Remember that day? They had a huge explosion and fire.
Yeah, those are the years we jumped sharks pretty regularly.
Did you ever get hurt? Have you ever been hurt shooting a scene?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to have an interesting conversation with my oncologist one day. As we try to figure out where my cancer came from, whether it was the burning tires in Mexico City or the... any of the other tires. I got.
Wait a minute, so you were burning tires in Mexico?
Yeah, well, you know, we were like,
Because you were out drinking one night, hey man, let's burn some tires. What movie was that you were burning tires?
That would have been Librarian 1, Search for the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah.
I got lit on fire twice in my first two movies. I got lit on fire twice.
Wait a minute, how did you get lit?
First movie, I'm shooting a scene where I'm burning my father's love letters from his mistress in this bathtub, and they're thinking, well, how are we gonna do this now? So they get this idea, they'll take one of these giant Ritter fans, and they'll put all the burning letters on that, and then they'll just kind of point it at me. And it's my first movie, so I go, okay, I'll stay, okay. Right here is good. And then they turn on this wall of fire, comes right at me, and they had to put me out, yeah, man.
So you're doing an emotional scene and then you're on fire.
I'm on fire, yeah.
All right. But that wasn't in Mexico, was it?
No, that was in Vancouver. And then I got lit on fire. My second movie, my character lights this statue on fire outside of a high school. So they paint it with rubber cement, which is highly flammable. And then there's like a delay, so they put another coat on it, and then somebody goes to the bathroom, so they put another coat on it, and that happens like 5 or 6 times. So when I finally light it, it goes off like a bomb. And I got lit on fire again.
Wow. Yeah. Did you stay in character?
If my character was screaming like an 8-year-old girl, then yeah. I stayed right in it.
You know, I did a movie in Mexico, and they had those squibs in my head. I got shot in my head. But there's no, you wait for the safety meeting. There's no
safety meeting. No, not in Mexico.
The dude put the two things, there were 2 wires. It didn't even have a detonator. He was just behind the tree. Dime cuándo. And then he was kind of trying to get the spark.
Yeah.
Little did I know, because I know where you live now, I didn't know that you grew up in Hollywood.
Yeah, I grew up in LA. Grew up right in the middle of Hollywood.
Yeah, he seems like more of a, you know, Colorado.
Really?
Yeah, Yosemite.
No, I grew up right behind the Man Chinese Theater, right in the middle of Hollywood. Yep.
Yeah, that was some. You ever buy any crack?
Yeah, it's, yeah. Those of you who are visiting Hollywood,
at that time, that was a wild part of Hollywood.
this is late '70s, early '80s. It was a rougher part of
Disco
town.
and rollerbladers and the.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's take
Ladies
a
of
look.
the night.
Let's take it. Oh, ladies of the night. Let's take a look at Noah Wiley, his yearbook picture. Check this out.
Uh-oh.
Yay! Yay! Even in black and white, you're totally white. Look at that.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that picture being taken?
Not a clue. Not a clue where that was taken. You sure that's me?
That's you. Wait a minute. Put it back up again.
Yeah, that's me.
That's either you or the Dr. Pepper dude.
That's funny.
Okay, when you were a kid,
Yeah.
did you get in trouble as a kid? Were you in that area?
No, we were good kids. We were. I had like one run-in with the law. We were, I come from a big family. We were all really resourceful kids. We used to work for all of our money. We had lemonade stands and all that stuff. It started, my sister used to sell Girl Scout cookies, and one year she came to me and she said she'd cut me in on the action if I sold her cookies for her.
I love that. Cut me in on the action.
And I was like 10, which is, humiliating to sell Girl Scout cookies as a 10-year-old boy. But I did it. I sucked it up. I sold my cookies, and I think she thought it was like the UNICEF boxes they gave you before Halloween, where you could like maybe take a quarter or two out of the box before you turned it in. But Girl Scouts keep records, like really good records. So she didn't want to give me my taste, as it were. So I'm not proud of it, but I stole 2 of her gold anklets that she wore, and I tried to sell them to this Hungarian kid in the back of 7-Eleven. Yeah, named Karush. And I think the guy that ran the store thought we were shoplifting, so he called the police, and the police officer came in and asked me to turn out my pockets and explain where I got the anklets from, and told me I was walking down a dark road, and...
He gave you the speech? Like you are going down a wrong path, young man. He gave you that speech?
Yeah. So
did you actually get money? Did you make complete the transaction? Or?
No, the sale never got completed. I returned the merchandise, and all was forgiven. Actually, all was never disclosed. In fact, this will be the first time I've ever told my mother.
Yeah!
And my sister.
Yeah! I love that. Your sister never.
But I learned my lesson. I went right into the movie business where they honor honesty and virtue and integrity.
Yes. We're going to call Noah's mom in the break, and we'll be right back with more of the bad boy, Noah Wiley. We'll be right back.